welcome. If you're new here, I'm Celeste and we are filming another vlog, a little spring break vlog. If you didn't know, I am a Disney pass holder and I live in Central Florida, so I love sharing those adventures with you all. But today we are currently sitting at the Yacht Club Resort. We have a breakfast reservation that we're running a little late for, so we really need to go. But also the plan is to go live for the second time on TikTok today, which is super exciting because I got a new little tool to help with that. So we're gonna try that out. I heard that they have the Easter eggs at the Grand Floridian Resort, so we're gonna have to drive over there after breakfast. But my friend is also meeting me and she's a photographer and she asked if I wanted to take some pictures. So we're gonna do that as well. I'm thinking the pictures would be nicer at the Grand Floridian, but we'll see what she wants to do. So let's go to breakfast. Something nice. Made it to the boardwalk. Next stop, Cake Bake Shop. We got the rose raspberry latte. Alright, so we took our pictures at the boardwalk, which was quite lovely. We also got to check out the Cake Bake Shop. So cute in there. But now I just parked at Magic Kingdom because we're gonna hop on over to the Grand Floridian and check out the Easter eggs if they have started setting them up, which I think they have. And then maybe we'll snap some more photos. Maybe I'll get to try taking photos of her. But we're just gonna have a grand old time. So let's go. They have their seasonal display set up. Welcome to the Grand Cottage. It's not as grand as Christmas time, but I spy an Easter egg. It's crazy that this is chocolate. Just frolicking around, taking pictures. What a day. Decided to stop at the Contemporary for some coffee. These elevators are crazy. Elevators, escalators. Hello, we made it home and I have to hurry up and get inside because I picked up Chipotle on the way home for dinner. And if you can't tell, I did get a little sunburned, but that's how you know you've had a good spring break, is if you get some sun. So anyways, we had a lovely time frolicking around the resorts, and just pretending we are resort guests. We ended up walking around the boardwalk and visiting the cake bake shop for the first time, which is like a Love Shack fancy for a bakery. It was so pretty in there, which I'm sure you guys can see, but that was a really neat experience. And then my friend wanted to take some pictures of me around the boardwalk because she's a photographer, again, if you didn't know. And then we ended up driving over to Magic Kingdom to hop to the Grand Floridian, which we did go live on TikTok for the second time to show off the Easter eggs, which are made of chocolate, and the detail on those, I could literally stare at them for at least 2 hours, I think. But that was really cool. And then we just continued to walk around and enjoy the resort, and then decided to go home. But we did stop at the Contemporary to grab a coffee, so I have that here with me, and I'll probably just save it for later. But my husband has been working so hard on our bedroom floors, so I can't wait to show you guys the progress. Let's get inside.
This one though. What you taking the video for?
For the vlog. Our hard worker over here. Look, it's so open and echoey. Yeah.
Nice and flush so that air stays in there. It's airtight.
Nice. Now I just gotta repaint.
Yep, and then I cut around so that it's all flush. I could probably do a
Much
little
better
bit more.
than what it was.
Yeah, I could probably do a little caulking. Or on the edge.
Made it to our break spot. Now we're cruising. We finished today. We made it. We always do. What's wrong with my Hello, the last time I saw you, we got back from resort hopping. And now we are off to dinner with the girls. One of my friends moved into a new apartment, so she's having a little housewarming with the small group girls. We don't meet anymore, but we try to get together every now and then, and tonight is one of those nights. Today was a lovely day. We started off the day with paddleboarding at King's Landing, which is in Apopka, and I think it's my favorite place to go because it's just so beautiful. The water's crystal clear. There's some shallow spots, so you don't have to worry too much if you fall, because you can just get right back on. But it was very cold this morning. We got there at like 8:40, and then it took us an hour to get our stuff together and set up our boards, because both me and my friend have inflatable paddle boards, and she got this electric pump, which we thought would be helpful, but the attachment didn't quite fit her board, so it took forever to inflate. Thankfully, mine inflated pretty quickly, but we tried to use a different like attachment for her board, and it still just wasn't working. So it took us like an hour, but thankfully it had warmed up some by the time we got on the water. So then we were just going against the current, and then on the way back it was actually really peaceful and lovely because we were going with the current, so we just had to earn it. But anyways, then we went to see Snow White, and then I did like a little bit of grocery shopping, and I picked up some goodies to take to dinner. And now I'm getting ready, and I have to get ready quickly to go because, as always, I'm running late. So that's where we're going next. Hello. So today we've just been doing things around the house, and I just cooked dinner. It's Friday, so spring break is almost over, but last night was really fun, and we actually ended up buying a couch for my friends, which worked out really great. I'll show you in a second. But yeah, just hours of friendship time. It was really great, and I loved getting to catch up with everybody. And now we're gonna eat dinner and probably just rest for the rest of the night. The animals love it.
What?
You love it, boy? Hungry? Want to eat? I traded these for these. Yes. Yesterday we got to go to Epic Universe for the family and friends preview. We were not allowed to take any photos or video, but I guess maybe they're hoping to market through word of mouth and also say thank you to the cast members by doing these previews. It did say they were in technical rehearsal, so that's probably a reason why as well. Some things were not available yet, and I'm sure they want to have the chance of photo and video and media coverage when everything is truly ready. But nevertheless, it was a really fun day, and I'm super grateful that I could go. So it's kind of like Magic Kingdom, where you have like a central hub in the park, and then you have the different universes. I believe there's 4 different universes, including the universe in the main area. And so when we got to the park, we entered through like a portal, which is the main entrance of Celestial Park, and then you can go left or right. And so we were all hoping to go to Super Nintendo World, and that was where we spent the most time. But that was truly immersive when you walk through the portal, because they have the sounds of Nintendo playing as you enter, and then where they bring you, in my opinion, is the best viewpoint of the entire world. Like, you see almost everything except for the back extension area, which is like the Donkey Kong area. So you really feel like you are transported into like a Mario game, and you can see everything, and it's all really beautiful and really well done. And I'm sure if you're a fan and you've seen the Super Nintendo World in California or Japan, then you can imagine how it looks like. But that was my first time seeing it, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I think Disney has some competition, because the theming was truly everything. So we went on all the rides in that area. There are 3 main rides, I believe. One of them's a coaster, one of them's a motion simulator, and then they have kind of like a people mover, which is very kid friendly. There are some interactive components to it, but we did experience everything that day except for this extra experience, which is for people who have the little bracelet that allows you to interact with the world, similar to like a Magic Band Plus, except a lot cooler. But they also have an app for this bracelet that you can keep track of what you've collected. You can see kind of like other people who have different bracelets and see their stats as well, so you're kind of like competing. And this is definitely something that's going to keep bringing you back for more, because you might not be able to collect all of the different things that day for that experience. So I thought that was really cool. My husband got a bracelet and he definitely wants to go back. And then after that, we went our separate ways for lunch. I wanted something different, so I headed over to the Ministry of Magic Universe. I think that's what it's called. I'm not too familiar with all the names, but I ended up sitting down at this restaurant, and I couldn't tell you what it was called because it's in French, but it was a really lovely experience, except I did have to wait a little bit, so that was not as lovely. I think in the future they will have like order pickup available, but they didn't on that day. And I got a pumpkin juice, a lavender lemonade, a turkey and brie baguette sandwich with some french fries, and I got a creme brulee, and everything was really well priced this day, which I'm certain is for the friends and family event. But nevertheless, it was all really tasty, and I wish I could have taken a picture of it so much, because it was actually presented really lovely as well. So then I met up with the rest of my family. They chose to eat at the Astro Pub, which I don't know what they got. I forgot to ask. I think they got like sandwiches and stuff. And then we went back to Super Nintendo World to get on the Donkey Kong coaster, which that ride all day had the longest wait. But the theming also was really great on that ride. It was a shorter ride, which I was finding that was the theme for a lot of the coasters, except for the mega coaster in the Epic Universe Park. All of the other coasters are really quick, which I guess is just something I'm not used to. So anyways, we waited for the Donkey Kong ride. We ended up getting on in like an hour and 10 minutes. And then we decided to head on over to Dark Universe, which is like the horror themed universe with the classic monsters like Frankenstein and Dracula. And immediately as we walked in, I was like, oh yeah, this would be really cool at night or even around spooky season for those who are super into that genre. So we ended up going on the werewolf coaster there, and then they had like the Frankenstein experience, and that was a ride that I also like. I've never seen that type of ride technology before. They literally show you in the queue or as a part of the ride experience how the ride actually like moves, and it's literally like how you're moving in the ride, but you don't think until you go and you're like, wait, this is literally like the design concept for this ride, which is crazy. There was a ton of different technologies on this ride that I thought were so cool, and if you're like somebody who pays attention to that, then I think you would enjoy that as well. And so After that, we met up with some of my family that couldn't ride the rides because a lot of the coasters have test seats outside of the experiences to make sure that you can fit properly on the ride, and unfortunately they are not welcoming or able to fit all types of bodies, so you want to make sure that you test your seat before you go. But there was a lot of other different experiences in the world as well, and they did that while we rode the rides. And after that, we wanted to check out the rest of the universes, but I really wanted to try out the mega coaster, and yeah, that was crazy. It's kind of like if Dueling Dragons and I forget the other name of the coaster. I'm blanking. It's kind of like if Dueling Dragons and Velocicoaster had a baby. That's like what the components of the ride reminded me of. You have two different coasters and you can pick whichever side you want to go on, and then it has like a similar seat style and thrill factor as Velocicoaster. We waited like 25 minutes, maybe 30 for this ride, and yeah, I was scared the whole time. I mean, it was fine. It was enjoyable in some sense, but your bottom definitely is off the seat for like half of the ride because there's so many inversions and the harness doesn't go over your shoulders. It just goes over like, you know, I don't know, you can't hold here, you have to hold like on your lap, almost like a faux lap bar. So that was interesting. A lot of people loved that ride though, from what I could hear. And then after that, we decided to check out the Isle of Berk, which is the How to Train Your Dragon area, which definitely felt a lot more like kid focused with the rides and the design of the area. We didn't end up going on any rides in this area. We just went over to check it out, and then we made our way back to Super Nintendo World to ride the last ride that we didn't get to do, which is like the People Mover ride. I think it's called like Yoshi's Adventure maybe. But that's how we ended our day. We also tried to pop in some of the shops on the way out, but I think a lot of other people had a similar idea, so we didn't get to walk around that man shop in Celestial Park as much. But nevertheless, it was a fun-filled day, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy their experience here, and yeah, hopefully we get to go back. So we're on our way to Epcot to end our spring break the right way, and I'm gonna meet my dad over there, and we're gonna walk around, enjoy the sun and the flowers, and just end the weekend off on a high note. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out this video if you liked what you saw, and I'll see you soon. Bye.